Just before we get into today's videos, folks, you might have noticed there wasn't an upload yesterday, and this video is now going up on Wednesday. Apologies for that. I've actually got some stuff that's kind of just going on outside of the YouTube sphere. Just means that this week I've not been able to get videos up each and every day. That will be different next week. So I hope this episode's worth the wait. Future Jack, take it away. Let's hope that we win or something. Good intro. Good intro. I'm really not sure how to sugarcoat this or try and make this out to be a positive, but we lost in the FA Cup to Bromley. And it was 3-0 at half-time. I mean, to be fair, Bromley are bloody brilliant. They are 5th in the League 2 table right now. They're not even in the automatic promotion spots. They're not even close to it. And yet they knocked us out the FA Cup third round. I mean, that's the negative. The positive is I have been able to focus on the league, and we have actually gone on an okay run of games. Look at the league table. We're top. However, Norwich are 1 point behind us, Villa are 2 points behind us, Peterborough, on an awful run of form actually, are now 4 points behind us, but we're anything but safe. And today, Southampton, Derby County. I don't know why I keep coming back for the difficult games. It feels like a terrible idea, but here we are. Yes, folks, how is it going? Welcome back to Prem. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Welcome back to the first episode since the transfer window slammed shut. And I've not even covered it in the intro. We have a new club record sale. Now, undoubtedly, Thumbnail Jack, the guy who makes the thumbnails, completely different bloke to me. He will have put the amount of money in big yellow text on the thumbnail so that you've all clicked on the video for, right? You're probably thinking, who's gone? Well, Patrick Vaughan's has gone, although we did get him back on loan from Hoffenheim, so thank you to Hoffenheim. This man we signed on a free transfer at the start of the year. 22 games, some good performances, including, of course, last episode. And well, off the back of that, Hoffenheim came to me and bid 7.5 million and 50% of any profit, and then agreed to loan him back to me. Love Hoffenheim, great football club. 7.5 million is far too much for this man. As good as he is, he's just not a £7.5 million player, is he? Let's be honest. Now, with all that money we did receive, unfortunately, AC Milan did take just over £1 million as part of a 15% sell-on clause. On top of that, you're probably looking at the overall balance now thinking, Jack, it's not 7 million. Yeah, I've invested it immediately into facilities. As you can see here, in the process of improving our training facilities, yet again, that will be done in May time. That's going to be pretty significant as well. Our training facilities are about to hit 3 stars. Doesn't feel like that long ago that it was like a half a star, and it was very, very depressing. Now, as well as that sell, we should probably talk about a few others that have happened. Jay Haddo. I know Jay watches these videos sometimes. Jay, you wanted out, mate. Wasn't me. He's gone to Charlton. He wanted regular first team football. He's now a sub for a team in League One. So he's got what he wished for. We made some profit on him. A player who was more of a squad player this year, wasn't playing enough, wanted out. We made money. So I consider that a win. Elsewhere, another player we picked up on a free transfer in the summer in Nathan Fleming has left the building. Wasn't getting the first team football he desired. He has gone on to TNS for £150,000, considering we signed him for nothing. He didn't play all that much for us. Kind of happy about this one as well. And the final of the notable departures was Bobby Thomas, a player who's been a very reliable backup centre-back. Only had a few months left to go on his contract, wanted out, told me he was going to leave on a free. I did flirt with the idea of just keeping him around, but we got a bit of money from Swindon Town for him. £45,000 between all these sales and a few key players leaving. Naturally, I did have to spend some money. Now, of course, we covered it last episode, but Darren Dixon joined us at centre-back. That was a player who I kind of got in anticipating we were going to lose a centre-back, but we did lose a couple more in January, so further strength was required there. The players we picked up, first and foremost, Peter Morrow, solid centre-back, probably the go-to backup for Tejera, bit of a weapon in the air, 18 jumping reach. It's not quite 20, still pretty solid, and at 24 years old, we've signed him for £69,000. I promise you I didn't do that to be funny. That was the amount of money that Derby County wanted. Another slightly more expensive option we picked up is Ruben Sandel. This guy, 18 years old, good little centre-back and loads of potential. Kind of why we've signed him. The name of the game was Potential. We've signed him from Bristol City, who he had never played for, paid £625,000, which is a fairly hefty chunk of money, although when you consider the Vaughan's deal, maybe less so. The kind of thinking here is he looks immense, 18 years old, English. He's going to have a high resale value because he's English and we're playing in a post-Brexit save game where you need English national players. I think he's pretty good. Hopefully he improves. Another player we picked up from Derby County, a youth option for the future, is Luis Senzina, or it could be Kazina, I don't know. This man is part Filipino. I'm kind of hoping he goes on to play for the Philippines, because then he and Gadia can just be best buds in the national team. That would be romantic. This guy though, 18 years old, goalkeeper for the future, capped at England's under-20 level. We signed him for £200,000. I don't think that's too bad. When you look at him as a goalkeeper, he's not excelling in any one area, but there's not some massive crazy gap in his game I feel like to be super worried about. The final of the new additions I made, I'm rather excited about. This could be a real bargain, I feel like. Cameron Cooper, this man is a real person, although it's not the most flattering of pictures in the face pack. I'll be honest, Cameron, you've been done dirty there, son. We've signed him for £230,000, first half of the season playing in the Scottish Premiership for Queen's Park. He wasn't happy there, transfer listed on deadline day. We swooped to make this deal happen. I think he is a really, really good alternative to Gadia, slightly better in the air, slightly good, or slightly better, I suppose, when it comes to the combination of finishing, composure off the ball. Not quite as crazy with the physicals, but already he's popped up with an important goal for us in recent games. And I think as a really high-quality attacking option on the bench, someone we can bring in as part of rotation, we could have done a lot better for a player we've spent £230,000 on. I feel like the star rating doesn't reflect how good he is, to be honest. He is very, very impressive. And whilst Cooper's very impressive, we're also kind of impressive. We're on a good little run of form again. Lots of clean sheets. Not a flawless run of games by any means. I talked about the Bromley game. That immediately followed the Aston Villa and Peterborough games of yesterday, which if you didn't see yesterday's video, and now you've seen the scorelines, just go watch my suffering. You'll have a good time. And if you wanted to see more of my suffering, you should feel gutted that you didn't see the next league game that we played against Crystal Palace. We were 3-0 up in this game. It was 3-3 in the 84th minute. They scored 3 goals back. We then scored in the 85th minute. Then they scored in the 95th minute to get another equaliser. We were winning 3-0 with 10 minutes left. It was bad. I'm so glad it wasn't recorded. I didn't handle it well. Since that result, though, we have bounced back pretty well. We beat Cardiff City, a team who I feel like we've had a really good record against in our 2 years in the Championship. 3-1 there. We then beat Watford really convincingly as well. 4-1. Aboubakari back from AFCON, getting 2 goals in that game. Then into the month of February, we've gone where goals haven't exactly been flowing, but we've kept a few clean sheets, grinded out some really good results. 2-0 against Luton was superb, and 1-1 draw against Ipswich Town was disappointing, although we did come back to get the point in that game, and away from home, not too concerned about it. Back-to-back 1-0 wins against Birmingham City and Millwall. You can see here, Aboubakari scoring in the game against Birmingham City. As for this game against Millwall, it was 0-0 until the 89th minute. Machete sent off in the first half. We were grinding out a result here, and then Cooper came on off the bench and scored, and it was good. I probably celebrated it more than I should have. And following on from that Millwall game, we did make it 3 wins on the bounce, an unbeaten month so far in February, as we beat West Brom 2-1. Teixeira scored from the penalty spot. He then scored from a set piece. A late goal for West Brom gave us a little bit of cause for concern, but we held on for the all-important win. As you've already seen, with the current league table, we are top, but the top 4 teams are separated by 4 points, and we're only about 3/4 of the way through the season. There is still 12 matches left to be played. Now, when it comes to those matches, the 2 that we're doing today are rather important. Southampton away, we have done this away day, I'm afraid to say, but they're in 6th. They're a team that are really underperforming this year, but with Thomas Frank now as their manager, he's come in halfway through the season. They have started to improve. And after that, we're doing the game against Derby County. Derby were promoted with us 2 years ago. They finished, in the mid-table kind of bracket where we were last year. We finished 1 point above them, I think. And this year now, their media prediction was 16th. They're now in 5th. So kind of interesting that ourselves and Derby are kind of climbing at a similar rate. Really cool to see them doing so well. They're going to be a tough test even if we are at home. Now, the reason I've decided to do these games is kind of simple. They are the last big tests for us. If I just flick through the remaining games here, we have got Bristol City between the 2 games we're doing today. Sorry, Bristol City fans. Not doing it live. Not doing it live. But after the Derby County game, you can see Stoke in 17th, Portsmouth are bottom, and they are bottom comfortably. Then Blackpool in 13th, Hull in 12th. The big game really to have an eye on is this game here against Norwich City. They are in 2nd. They are a team that are on the up. We gave them a really good game, you might remember. I think it was the first episode of the season where we only lost 3-1. They scored a penalty in that game. But after that Norwich game, Burnley in 21st, Coventry in 23rd, Reading in 18th, Queen's Park Rangers in 20th. We have 2 games today against teams in the playoffs. After these 2 games, I think we play 2 or maybe even 1 team in the top half. Our run of games to end this year is really, really good. Well, naturally, that strength of schedule could prove critical for this really big crunch point in the season. Villa have been on a goal-scoring spree recently. Their goal difference is really healthy. Ours is the second best in the league, and it could boil down to that. So we need to keep it as good as we can. The games today are going to be important. Need to avoid losing 7-3. Again. So in terms of the team for this first game today, you might have noticed here, Machete obviously got sent off against Millwall, still suspended for today's game, so he's not available. Elsewhere, Schmid is also suspended, of course. One of our key players in the team this year has been very, very good at centre-back. Hasn't got the best ratings, but he has been a very, very kind of ever-present part of our team. He started 33 matches for us this season. With that in mind, Vaughan's is going to come in to play right centre-back for us, and then with that move there, Scotty Williams is going to move to the uncharacteristic left centre-back position. I'm going to hope he can do the job for us there. In terms of the rest of the team, with Machete out, McKillop is the man I'm going to give the nod to. Going into this year, I wasn't sure how we were going to split the minutes of Goller and McKillop. They are 2 players who are fairly similar. McKillop's a couple of years younger, a player who I think has a little bit more potential, at least if you believe the scout report. So I have been favouring McKillop. To be honest, his development this year has been really, really good. And whilst I don't necessarily feel like he's the kind of player who should be the spearhead of a championship kind of title fight, I do feel like he's a player in a game like this I can bring in and should be able to do a good job for us. Elsewhere in the team, we are keeping with the Holy Trinity in the final third. It's going to be Gadia, Williams and Aboubakari. These guys between them have a lot of goals, 45 goals between them to be precise, but I feel like we have also got goals on the bench. Of course, we have got Mason Burstow, and I've just noticed here, we probably should acknowledge it, Brandon Charles is on the bench today because of the suspensions, but also Abu Kamara. He's back from his loan. Salford sent him back to us. They didn't like what he was doing in League One. I have tried to renew his contract because it's up at the end of the year. He still wants £7,000. He's not getting it. Anyway, that is our team for this game. Obviously, the opposition today are Southampton. Media prediction of 2nd at the start of the season. They have underperformed that. Their big man to be fearful of is Benjamin Ramirez, who looks, well, absolutely phenomenal for a championship club. They signed him for £13 million, which looks like a bargain. Yeah, I'm a little bit scared of this guy. He looks quite good. I feel like I haven't acknowledged it, but I am using the standing desk today, as in I'm stood up. I mean, I'm always using it, but I have been sat down more recently. After yesterday, I felt like standing up might be better just for my mental. You know, if I need to take a step away from the PC, I can move away more easily if I get annoyed by the game. Let's hope that's not going to be the case. Let's hope that the good form that we've had against weaker opposition is going to translate to some good performances here. Given the lack of goals in recent matches, not sure we can expect 16 goals in 2 games again, but who knows, this is Football Manager. There's only 10 minutes left of this half. Nothing has happened. There's been 1 shot on target. The ball has been stuck in the midfield. I wish I could, give you a bit of insight into what's happened. Teixeira's got booked. After last episode where he got sent off, that should be a concern. Is there going to be a highlight to end the half? There is. Okay. Panic over, everyone. Livramento's bringing it forward for Southampton. He must be getting on a little bit in this universe. They've also got Papetti. How are they in the championship? I'm not sure. I mean, the real question is going to be, how are they losing to us when we carve them open like this? And Williams is a beautiful individual. It's goal number 18 of the season for him. McKillop's got the assist, and in a match where there's not been many opportunities, and there may not be many more in the second half, clinical finishing like that is the order of the day. Great build-up play. Aboubakari dropping deep. McKillop making that run beyond. Superb ball through, and I'll tell you what, first time finish right into the top bins. Kevan Williams, you beautiful, beautiful man. Half-time here, 1-0. I mean, you've seen everything that happened in that half. Not a lot happened, but I'm happy as Larry right now. I'm looking at Walder struggling a little bit. I'm looking at Vaughan's on a booking. I'm sat thinking, do I want to change some stuff here? You know what? Live com debut. Gaddy has been disappointing. Cammy Cooper, come on down. And Aboubakari's been poor. Dale Owen, he impressed us a little bit last episode. Let's give Dale a moment to shine here. Fresh legs in the final third. Decided not to change things up defensively. Might regret that here if they get the corner into a dangerous area. But I'll tell you what, Tommy Setford has plucked that out the air. He's like a cat catching bats at night. That's a very niche reference. Has anyone had like a pet cat that used to try and jump and get bats? Just my neighbour's cat? Maybe just my neighbour's cat. I don't know. Used to call him Catman. Anyway, moving on. What's happening here? Cooper's got the ball. He's going to dig it forward. McKillop chests it down. Williams is offside, I think. I don't want to celebrate it. He's offside. He's offside. You know what? Sometimes the commentary really does go off topic, doesn't it? Today is one of those days. I can already tell. There might be more to come. But for real, cats do chase bats, right? Like, in my neighbours back home, they used to have the bats swoop down. The cats would try and catch them. But maybe my neighbours' cats were mental. I don't know. What are we doing? What are we doing here? Thank you, Setford. Oh, my word. Get me out of here. I'm a football manager. Get me out of here. New TV series coming soon. Jota's got the ball in a dangerous area. Not enjoying this. Ramirez now for them. Does a little turn. Does a little twirl. Cavalieri going to cross in towards Lewis Potter. Headed away. Walder does not get there. Now O'Reilly edge the box. Adam gets the ball initially, but straight back with Livramento, who bursts through the middle. Unfortunately for us, does not have shooting boots. I don't like the bookings. I'm going to have to keep Teixeira on, I think. But Darren Dixon, double D, on your come, son. I'm going to take off Adam, I think, and bring in McKenzie as well. Obviously, with Vaughan starting this game because of the suspension at centre-back to Schmid, we do lack a kind of good backup right wing-back option to bring on. The third choice right wing-back option would be Machete, but he's also suspended, so a little bit of a pickle to deal with there. Okay, we're entering the last 10 minutes here. It's still 1-0 to us. There's been a few more chances in this second half, a few weird long highlights, which I've probably cut out, or rather editing Jack's cut out. What I'd love to see is us scoring here. McKillop plays it in. Owen has an effort. Cooper keeps it alive, but we just can't get it closer to the goal. And Southampton have weathered it, and now suddenly they're up the other end. They've got a lot of players forward here. Should I be concerned? No, they don't know the offside rule. Oh, I really wanted the game just to fizzle out in the last 10 minutes. It's not happening like that. Free kick just inside our own half. It's Double D over it, taking his time, which we like to see. Donald is going to play it towards Cooper. Can he make something happen? Tight angle. I mean, we've got a corner. It was a weird chance, that one, because it's one of those ones where it looks like a great opportunity, but the ball was never really in an area where you back him to score. The angle was always against him. Still a corner, though, to make something of here. Teixeira back post. We know where he is. He's lurking away. He's got 3 men on him. Donald keeps it alive, and I wasn't far over. Did say there might not be many goals today. Does kind of have that vibe, although a goal here would be useful. Williams can't even beat the first man. McKillop, who got the assist for our opening goal. Questionable touch there. He's on a yellow card. McKillop, do not kill him. Do not kill him. I know it's in your name. It's not in your nature. Kukulon bringing it forward. Lays it back now to the left back on the overlap. Dinks it into Jota. We might need some more Setford heroics. We needed them. They did not come. It was a tap-in, and it's Tony Martinez with it for the home side, Southampton. That has been coming. Maybe it would have been better if McKillop had just hacked down the guy and stopped the counter-attack happening with 4 minutes left. Nevertheless, well worked by Southampton. We've been caught a little light at the back. I feel like it's been a game where we've probably been second best in a lot of areas, but because we're in the lead, we felt good. Maybe now this is a game where I need to be more concerned about holding on, although Cooper's had chances. He might have another one here as well. Oh, I thought that can't be the high. That's the highlight. That's the high. I thought there was going to be a penalty or something more happen. Anyone else? Oh, there's another chance here. We've got a 3-on-2. Oh, that's such a bad pass. Papetti reads it. O'Reilly now for Southampton. Neither team is content with a point here. Have you noticed that? Lewis Potter gives it to Setford. Very, very generous. 4 minutes of added time. There's another highlight. Owen gets it forward. He's not picked out anyone there, has he? Lewis Potter was on a 5.9 rating, I noticed earlier in this game. He's been kept on the pitch, and now I'm concerned he's going to put us to the sword. It's back with Setford. There's still 2 minutes left here of extra time, and I'm getting nervous. You know, I don't get nervous, but I'm getting a little... Anyone else get a bit... You know, maybe just me. Oh, my word. The standing up desk doesn't make my stress any less bad. You know, it's a big season for us because these kind of matches really do matter. Rescuing wins from these kind of games could get us to the Premier League. And whilst we are definitely not ready for the Premier League, I want to dream. I want to believe. It'd be fun to get pounded for a year by loads of rich people, wouldn't it? Oh, they're going to score. Martinez, don't do it. Don't do it. Please be offside. It's not. It was offside. What just happened? Did the highlight just bug out? It's been given offside, I think. I asked the game really nicely and it listened. Is that? Do you just have to get down on your knees and beg the game? I don't know. He's offside again, right? He's offside. He's scored 2 offside goals in 30 seconds. I told you they don't know the offside rule. In some ways, a draw isn't a bad result, but when you know how close it is at the top and knowing that you were in the lead until the last 10 minutes, doesn't feel great. So with results elsewhere, Norwich managed to win 2-0. Where are Aston Villa? Aston Villa only managed to get a draw against Coventry. And as for Peterborough, they just lost 3-0 to West Brom. Peterborough have completely capitulated in this second half of the season. It's making me feel better about our wibbly-wobbly form. Look at this. They have not scored in their last 4 games. They are done. Wave goodbye to Peterborough. It's a 3-horse race. Doesn't really feel like it. Apparently we're on a 10-game unbeaten run. That looks really impressive in isolation. You then look at some of the games like the one against Villa and realise, yeah, there's a couple here where we did ride our luck. Now, like I already said, we have got this game against Bristol City in a week's time. We're not doing that game today. We're coming back for the Derby County game. Derby County are a team that I feel like are going to give us a real battle. They currently sit ahead of Southampton in the league in 5th. A win for them is going to be very important in terms of remaining in the playoffs. As for ourselves, well, I just need to stay ahead of Villa or Norwich. I don't care if we win this league or not. Top 2's fine. I'm hoping when I come back we've not blown it against Bristol City. Who knows? I'll see you in a couple of weeks in game. You might notice I'm sat down. I needed to sit. We've just lost to Bristol City. We've just lost. I feel like the last few episodes have been more meltdowny recently, and I know some people probably don't enjoy the theatrics of it, but we've all been here in Football Manager where you're having one of these seasons where it's going really, really well, but then just as you start to get that little bit comfortable, just stuff happens that's annoying, and it's happened again. Now, the only silver lining with this result was that Norwich also lost at the weekend. They lost to Aston Villa, who are now top. As for Peterborough, they managed to pick up a win as well, and suddenly we're no longer in the promotion spots with 10 games left. I would like to issue an apology to Peterborough for saying it was a 3-horse race. It was premature of me. I mean, I literally said it 2 weeks ago. It was premature. I'll admit it. Little bit of a silver lining. Maybe. Schmid is back in the team today. Machete no longer suspended, but Tejera's picked up an injury and, well, I've been told he doesn't need a fitness test. Should I be playing a man who's injury prone when he's got an injury? Under any other circumstances, I'd say no. With this man, I have to do it. He's too important. In terms of the rest of the team, Vaughan and also McKillop go back onto the bench. Gadia, Williams, Abubakari, I'm going to stick with. It is a little bit concerning when you look at the form in the last 5 games. Whilst we have been grinding out some results and we are unbeaten in 10, the performances just haven't been good enough. We have to step up today. Also, I've just said we're unbeaten in 10. We were unbeaten in 10. Then we lost to Bristol City. Let's get to the Derby game. Okay, this game's on TV. You know it's a big game because we've got the lineups here. Here is our formation. I do wish that the kind of team player names were below the dots. Football Manager. Can we have that for FM24? I'm not asking for the world there, I don't think. It is an improvement this year, though, all these graphics. I mean, here is the league table. It's a bloody mess. We're in 3rd. Going into this season, I was expecting a nice chilled out mid-table finish again. That was kind of what I would have been happy with. You have this young squad. Few weeks into it, we're top of the league. We're flying high. I think we were 7 points clear at one point. Naturally, we've not stayed there, and maybe we're still kind of way overperforming, but at the same time, it's impossible not to feel like there is a window of opportunity here, and that metaphorical window, I want to jump through head first, and well, I would like to see us hopefully maybe score here. Walsh, Conrad hits the woodwork. Goes just wide. I don't want to see them hitting the woodwork inside the first 20 minutes. Now, bizarrely, our home form is actually what is letting us down this year. Maybe I need to look to be a little bit more positive at home. Away from home, we have one of the best away forms in the league, but, well, we need a little bit of that away look in games like this one, and, well, maybe we can make it happen here. Machete, Scotty Williams with the captain's armband back to Tejera, still carrying that little injury. Slightly concerned for him, but we're going to wrap him up in bubble wrap and make sure he's well protected at centre-back. We need him in these kind of games, and, well, we need Williams on form in these kind of games. He has missed a sitter there. Bowler with the ball, crossing it into the middle, headed away, but only as far as Clark at the edge of the box. He is going to pull the trigger, and oh my word, that's not far away. Coming up to half time, we have still not had a shot on target. We have still not had a shot on target. That feels like uno problemo for us, especially when the ball's in our own half. We need to create something good. Last game, we got a goal right before half-time in a very, very drab first half. Would not mind lightning striking twice here. Setford's going to roll it out to Williams, who's going to bring out the ball and lay it off to Walder. Down the wing he goes, trying to play into Williams. Read by Murphy, but not a bad position for us to find Derby in possession of the ball with, especially when they're going to go long like that and gift us possession back once more. Schmid to Donald. Donald has been a little bit quiet this year. Don't want to say that too loudly, but could do with him having a standout performance today, and while Volder could have a standout performance, it's sensational. Is Gadia onside here? He is. That's a crazy goal. I thought he was offside. It's happened again. A goal before half-time. The build-up play, the crisp, fast passing was just, it was magnifique. Wasn't it? Machete, Williams, Aboubakari, lays it to Walder, played inside, and Gadia just tucks it into the bottom corner to make it 1-0. Despite the fact we are ahead, I am going to tell the players I'm far from happy here. Into this second half we go, looking to make something happen. If something's going to happen, we're about to find out here. I would quite like a boring second half, please, football manager. Knight with the ball on the near side, lays it inside to Cast. Now with Bowler, Walsh with it. Derby County with a fair few men forward here. Good reading of the situation there by Scott Williams. He needed to win the ball back for us, and now we're looking to make something happen on the far side. Walder, already one assist. He and Aboubakari linking up, well, nicely in the first half. Not quite as nicely there. Ball played forward. Tejera wins the header. Back in possession at the back. Adam on this near side does very, very well to keep the ball in play there. The ball was kind of overhit, but he's chested it down. And now Gadia, with a knock, is played in behind. Holds it up intelligently. Lays it to Aboubakari. It's goal number 15 of the season for him. It's goal number 2 of the game for us. And we double our lead. I do feel like with Gadia on a booking, I might look to take him off here. But really intelligent play by the striker here. You know, could have smashed it into the side netting. Gets a touch out of his feet, looks up, spots Aboubakari unmarked, he tucks it away. With that, I am going to make those changes. Gadia is playing well, but with the injury, I just don't think it's worth it. Going to see if Cooper can maybe start to take some of his chances. In the last game, he was getting into great areas, he just didn't ever hit the target. Also, Machete not having a great return to the team. I'm going to bring in McKillop, and Vaughan's I'm going to bring in, and I'm going to bring him in for Scott Williams, who's on a booking. Walking a tightrope already. This is the kind of game where we don't really want to go down a man. And as good as Scott Williams is, and of course he is our club captain, he is a player who I feel like we have some comparable players in quality who can step in like Vaughan's, for example, just to fill his boots and, well, not impact us too negatively. Of course, if Derby now score here, I'm going to cancel all the pending chances and changes as Bowler is bringing it forward, lays it to Knight, right back, playing it forward, tries to cross it in, blocked away. Still plenty of time left in this game for a lot to happen, which, I mean, in some situations, you're saying that thinking, I need a lot to happen. I'm sat here thinking, I don't want anything to happen. Cast has won the ball as we try and play it out from the back. He plays it inside, and Callum Walsh has absolutely levered it into the back of the net. Poor Tommy Setford. I mean, he's ducked for cover. It's been kicked so hard at his head. Read by Cast, caught out trying to play out from the back. And, well, the ball played through was great. And the finish, I'm kind of glad that our goalkeeper didn't get in the way of it. He could have got injured. 10 minutes left, still 2-1. This is the kind of match where I wish I had a little bit more quality on the bench to call upon, where I could inject some fresh legs and think, yeah, these people are going to do it for us. We don't really have that luxury. Instead, I'm just going to stare at the timer in the top left, like any good manager, and just hope it hits full time until, well, a highlight begins here. We've been caught out once playing out from the back, but I don't really want to change how we play. I feel like this is such an imperative part of our identity as a club, our ability to play out from the back. And while there's some really nice link-up play here that we're seeing, Adam trying to get to the byline as the left-back gets caught out in possession. That said, Cooper battling well. Can he finish it? Yes, he can. Cammy Cooper, you beautiful little trooper. He's made it free. Perhaps a gamble to take off Gadia, who was having a great game, but I just didn't really want to risk him at 2-0. And at 2-1, the voice of doubt in the back of my mind was certainly there. But Cooper, first real chance that's come to him this game, he has scored it. And as we approach extra time here at the end of the second half, you have to imagine that is that. It is going to finish, well, I was going to say it's going to finish 3-1. They've hit the post from a free kick. Let's not celebrate it too soon. But I think the win is in the books now. Okay, full time here, 3-1. Not a great performance, to be honest, but we've grinded out a result. We only had 4 shots on target. Wasn't a great defensive display by Derby, but took the chances that came our way. We needed that win as well. Having not won in our last couple, voices of doubt, especially when you're fighting at the top, start to creep in. Unfortunately for us, Aston Villa have won 4-0 and Norwich City have won 3-0. So it's a great result, but it doesn't change anything. And to make things even worse, Peterborough managed to win and keep a clean sheet as well. I do have a sneaking suspicion, with 9 games left of the season, we are in for a blockbuster end to the year. And I think that blockbuster end to the regular league season is probably where we will pick things up next time. We'll have our youth intake to look forward to as well. Do not forget about that. Another thing to be very, very excited about. At this point, I'm beginning to feel like the playoffs might be inevitable. I hope it's irrational. I hope that I'm wrong, but it's going to be mighty tough, I think, to catch Villa and Norwich. They have so much money. They have so much quality. It's pretty rough. If you have enjoyed today's video, do make sure to drop a like on things. We will be back again soon with more Park to Prem action. And until then, take it easy. It is me, Jack, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.